All right, good evening, everyone. Joining in on YouTube, please click that thumbs up button, like this post, comment where you're from. Also, if you haven't subscribed, it is free on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, click that all, and then you will be notified anytime we post any content on YouTube as well. Okay, so what a wild last 2 weeks. I said we had a strat. This all built up, and we had a strat warm, basically at the pole back in early January. So cold usually precedes that 20 to 30 days after. So we've had a wild last 2 weeks. Cold got entrenched in the pattern. We had that really shallow Arctic air that came down. Models busted, which I knew was going to happen. Hopefully, you guys heeded my warning. 10 to 15 degrees below models. Actual air temperatures at the surface was 10 to 15 degrees colder than what the models projected, and I knew that was going to happen. We have seen this time and time again as this shallow Arctic air comes into the region. Now, I just had a long range post in the supporter hub over on Facebook. If you're not a supporter and wanna support us in this thing, you can support us on YouTube now as well. There is an option on YouTube to do that. I will, as soon as I get if I get some supporters over on YouTube, I will start posting that long range content for the supporters over on YouTube as well, and they'll have their own members only page on YouTube. Now, I've already posted that on Facebook. Now, supporter, you can go over to Facebook, search Snowbird Bob, and become a subscriber today. It's $4.99 a month, $4.99 a month. We'll give you long range content, first dibs, any seasonal content. Our hurricane outlook's going to be coming out probably in the next month or so. So be looking out for that as well in the supporter hub. Anyways, wild week last week. We had power outages all over the place. That ice came further south, like I expected. Texas, as of Sunday night at 9 o'clock, still has 42,000 people out of power. Arkansas still has 18,000. At the peak, Texas was nearing almost 500,000 customers out of power at some point. At one point, I think it was early on late Thursday into Friday. So these linemen and utility workers have been working nonstop all weekend long. Like I said, we went from almost 500,000 in Texas to less or to 42,000 in about 2 to 3 days time. So they're doing the best they can, but the power grid has been absolutely just wrecked with that heavy freezing rain that happened through Texas and Arkansas, Mississippi into Tennessee as well. So we want to thank all of our line workers out there, first responders. We appreciate all y'all out there, plus the road crews that helped clean up the roads. You guys put in a lot of hours the past couple weeks trying to keep our roads safe. So we appreciate you all very much. And those power crews have been working nonstop for days down here. So if you see any of them, just thank them for the work they do to try to keep our power, to get our power back on as well, and any utilities. All right, so now I'm going to go over the short range. I'm going to go over this week, go over high temperatures. We're going to get into an active pattern, and like I said in the supporter hub on Facebook, winter's not over by a long shot. I went all the way through middle of March, and I have my next target period is going to be mid to late this month into early March for more Arctic air to get entrenched into the region with another battleground setting up. But I have a lot more details over there and showing you what my latest thinking is. So winter is not over by a long shot. February is going to throw basically everything at us, I believe. as we go forward through February. So with that being said, let's get right into it. This is go to the SPC site first, show you what's going on. This is the next system that's coming in Tuesday into Wednesday, Thursday. So this time period is for Tuesday afternoon through Wednesday. Marginal risk of severe weather, basically from Houston, Texas, Corpus Christi, Pasadena, Beaumont, over to College Station, Texas. You'll have a chance at some thunderstorms and possibly some isolated severe storms out there as well as we go into midweek. There's going to be a lot of rain with this system as well. I'm going to go over modeling, I'm going to go over all the rainfall, and look at temperatures here as well. Now, going over to the Weather Prediction Center here, excessive rainfall forecast for Tuesday into Wednesday. And the green, marginal risk of flash flooding. So this is the risk of rainfall exceeding flash flood guidance within 25 miles of any given point. With this green, there's at least a 5% chance of that in the green. It's marginal. Then we go up to the yellow, slight chance of rainfall exceeding flash flood guidance up here into northeastern parts of Texas, southeastern Oklahoma, western and northwestern parts of Arkansas, and far southern Missouri as well. Flash flooding could be possible. Like I said, with this storm system coming in, there's going to be a lot of rain with this, and we'll look at that here. All right, here's the rainfall totals for the next 7 days. As you can see, these systems coming in. There's going to be a couple systems this week, midweek, and then later in the week as well. But basically, from Iowa, southwest into eastern parts of Kansas, eastern Oklahoma, eastern Texas, and east of there, it's going to be pretty active with rainfall. So 2 to 4 inches is possible, especially across western Arkansas up towards northern Arkansas, southern Missouri here. As we go mostly into the midweek, into later parts of the week as well. General 1 to 2, possibly west of or east of the Mississippi River out to Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, up here towards West Virginia. Maybe less than an inch out here. And then as you get towards the coast, southeastern parts of Georgia, maybe an inch and a half of rain over the next 7 days. Along the Gulf Coast states, about the same. Basically 3/4 of an inch to an inch and a half of rainfall in that area. This is over the next 7 days. All right, here is the winter weather outlook from the WPC Weather Prediction Center as well. This is day 4. This is late Wednesday into Thursday. Anywhere in the yellow here, or light green, probability of exceeding a 1/4 inch of liquid equivalent. So if you take that to a 10-to-1 ratio, if you get snow up in this area, that would be 2.5 inches of snow or higher across parts of Iowa into northern Illinois, into Michigan as well. Like I said, this may change because there is a storm system coming in late week as well that might get some snow into Oklahoma, maybe parts of northern Texas. There's been some signals maybe into northern Arkansas, but we will see as we go forward here, see how much cold air gets entrenched behind this first system coming through midweek. Late week system, basically from late Friday into Saturday. You can see it's showing some signals out here towards Missouri. This may be expanded even further as we go forward here and get a better sample on some of these systems coming in for late week. All right, here's the latest hazard maps for as of 9 o'clock Central Time. See, there's going to be a trough out west this week, so there's winter storm warnings out here for the Sierra Nevadas of California, with the winter weather advisories down here just to the mountains, just the mountains outside of Los Angeles here. Winter weather advisories through Utah, Wyoming, out here towards Colorado as well, Oregon, and winter storm warnings as well up here in Oregon. And winter storm watch up here towards northern parts of Washington. Dense fog advisory out here towards the Dakotas. Same here along in the Carolinas as well. overall, on this Sunday evening, it's a lot quieter across the area comparatively to the past 10 days or so. We had those multiple winter systems coming through parts of the southern plains and through the Mississippi Valley here through Arkansas, and Tennessee, and Missouri as well. All right, let's take a look at the European model for this week. So this was earlier this afternoon into this evening. Basically, maybe some showers down here towards the Carolinas. The west is getting active, as I've shown you with some of the winter storm warnings, winter weather advisories out that way. This the next day or two will be pretty tranquil across the southern parts of the United States. Still pretty chilly up here across New England, as Mount Washington, I believe in New Hampshire, they had the polar vortex basically right over that area this weekend. Brutal conditions, and Mount Washington set a new wind chill record for the United States. I believe it was at either minus 107 or minus 108. That's below zero. So 107 to 108 degrees below zero is a new wind chill record for the United States. That happened on Mount Washington. They had air temperatures of 40 to 50 below zero, with winds well over hurricane force, gusting to 100 to 120 plus miles an hour on top of that mountain in New England. Now, we have this system coming out. Here's a timestamp over here. This is Monday at 9 o'clock in the morning. Nothing basically going on across the southern plains, central parts of the area here. Got some few snow showers up here where that polar vortex is pulling out of the area across the mountains. Rocky Mountains getting some snow showers out here across the west and mountains here. And then here comes the system and the front coming through. This is Tuesday, late Tuesday into Wednesday. Like I said, there's going to be some severe weather down here across parts of Texas, southeastern parts of Texas, and very heavy rain going to come up through parts of Arkansas, southern Missouri, into Oklahoma, and northeastern parts of Texas as we go into Tuesday night into Wednesday. That upper level low feature back here, it's going to be trying to catch up to this and develop a low pressure basically somewhere over Arkansas, and you can see that starting to happen here as this upper level trough kinds of digs and comes out, ejects towards the southern parts of the United States here. Lots of rain coming in for Wednesday. Parts Arkansas, northern Louisiana, eastern Texas, southern Missouri, now bleeding into Mississippi, Tennessee, and Kentucky. So a lot of heavy rain out in that area. That'll get all the junk and stuff off the roads from all the salt and sand they put down over this winter mess we've had over the last week or two across parts of this area. So as we go into this is Wednesday night into Thursday, you can see that low pressure starting to develop out here across basically the Boot Hill of Missouri. It's going to start rocking up towards the northeast. Lots of rain across there. Snow on the backside of this, possibly across eastern Iowa as we go into Thursday morning. And then here comes some cold air. Now, there has been some questions on if there's another storm going to develop. Now, it's starting to develop something out here in Arkansas as we go into late Thursday night into early Friday morning, with snow coming back down into Kansas, parts of Oklahoma. Now, as we get into Arkansas, it could be a little bit more interesting, as yet again, elevation is going to play a key in Arkansas and southern Missouri. So I think anywhere, if this came true, we're going to have to get samples on the system as we get into midweek. But there has been signals at some high elevation snows, basically 1,000 to 1,500 feet and higher up here into the Ozarks of Missouri, into Arkansas, with some backlash snows basically into Kansas into parts of Oklahoma as we go throughout the day on Friday. And then this starts bleeding east. You can see these lower elevations out here is going to be basically rain showers, basically Tennessee to northern Mississippi. And then possibly some snow getting up through the Ohio Valley as we get into next weekend. And possibly some snow into West Virginia and Kentucky, parts of eastern Tennessee, if this model came true for next weekend. Now, and then as we get late next weekend, here comes the next system coming into California. So Saturday night into Sunday is going to quiet down across the region before this next system starts kicking out early next week. Now, how much rain are we talking about? This is just one model. I'll zero it down here so you guys can see. So overall, across the whole country here, you see the very heavy rain across northern most of Arkansas, actually, northern parts of Louisiana into eastern Texas. This is for the next 7 days total here. I showed you what the WPC said, and this is just one model on the Euro, basically. So lots of rainfall, basically east of Oklahoma, eastern Oklahoma, eastern Texas, go east of there. Lots of rain over the next 7 days as multiple systems come through the area over this week. Let me drill down here to the central part of the region here. You can see some of these rainfall totals are pretty substantial. So that's why that from the WPC, the flash flood guidance has a slight out for some flash flooding across this same area that could get 2 to 4 inches of rain across, like I said, southern Missouri into Arkansas, eastern Oklahoma, down to northeastern parts of Texas. So the flash flooding risk will be there as well. And some of these heavier rains, I think some of the WPC might extend that flash flood guidance out towards southern Illinois, as well as models have been picking up at 2 to 4 inches of rain up in that general vicinity as well. Now, as this system tracks east, mid to late week, there's going to be rainfall out here towards the Carolinas. There could be locally up to an inch, inch and a half, possibly out here towards the Carolinas, coastal areas of Virginia, down through southeastern parts of Georgia, through the Gulf Coast states, right along Gulf Coast, an inch, inch and a half is possible down there. Now, this is just one model run. I'm just warning you, this exact amounts will not come true. So just stay tuned later in the week, because that's when the snow may be possible in parts of this area. But so I'm just showing you basically a general trend of this next week, snowfall wise. Like I said, Rockies out here, 6 to 12 plus with those systems coming through, and then basically that Thursday night Friday system, if it happens, will create some higher elevation snows out here through Arkansas, southern parts of Missouri, and then backlash snows through maybe Oklahoma into Kansas as well. Let's go out east. So this is through next week, Sunday next week. As you can see, you might get some snow showers out here towards Tennessee, parts of Tennessee, into Kentucky, along the Ohio Valley here, up into Ohio, up here to Pennsylvania, along the spine Appalachians here. Could get some snow as well from West Virginia down through North Carolina this week. So lots of things happening this week. It's going to be nice the next few days, but then enjoy the next couple because as we get into Tuesday afternoon into Wednesday, another system comes in, possibly some isolated severe weather down here towards the Gulf Coast of Texas. Marginal risk down here, a few cities, Houston, Corpus Christi, Pasadena, Beaumont, over to College Station, marginal risk down there. Like I said, this is day 3 of the SPC outlook, so there could be some changes. Heavy rainfall, flooding rainfall is possible this week. Southern Missouri, Arkansas, parts of southern Oklahoma or eastern Oklahoma into eastern parts of Texas, possibly northern Missouri or northern Louisiana, in through the Ohio Valley of basically from Indiana down through Ohio or Illinois, Kentucky, possibly 2 to 4 inches of rain could be possible. And then east of there, general 1 to maybe 2 inches of rain possible in some isolated spots east of Mississippi, but general 3/4 to an inch and a half could be possible this week. So very active pattern this week. So with possibly if some cold air gets entrenched later in the week, if we get a system developing, like I said, we're still 5 to 6 days away, parts of that, but I'll have updates if that comes true. And if the severe weather ramps up as well, I will have video updates going forward. Okay, so here's your weekly update. I'm going to do these every Sunday evening for you all to kind of highlight the week. Short term wise, like I said, long term or long range update is in the supporter hub on Facebook. If I do start getting some supporters over here, if you want to support us on YouTube, there's a way to do that as well, and you'll have basically your own supporter hub. It's called Community in YouTube, and if I start getting some supporters over on YouTube, I will post that same kind of video content over here as well. But go over to the supporter hub. It's $4.99 a month. I just basically took them all the way through the middle of March and showed them why I think winter is not over by a long shot across the area. Okay? All right, guys. Thank you so much. This concludes basically our Sunday night update for this next week. Stay safe out there. There's going to be some flooding rain, like I said, possibly some snow at the end of the week. We'll have to wait. That's basically like a wait and see kind of game if we can get some colder air entrenched and a storm come through as well. Severe weather is possible, like I said, on your screen. Okay, for southeastern parts of Texas along the Gulf Coast. Have a great week, everyone. We'll talk soon.